Well, there's been some extraordinary outcomes for individuals that have moved, and people now are really living lives, very ordinary lives, quite similar to yours and mine. And a lot of what people are doing is really learning for the first time about taking responsibility for things like paying your bills, managing your budget, doing your shopping, cooking your own meals. So for a lot of people that was actually quite new, because in a group home a lot of that is done for you usually. A lot of people are really enjoying being present in their community and also going out and contributing and being part of what's happening in their community. So for people, their social life has got better. The big thing is that they now have a lot more contact with their families. So what we found was it was quite difficult for families sometimes coming into a group home, and when people are now living in their own apartment or their own home, it's a much more natural place for family members to come. So people have had the opportunity for their brothers or sisters to stay over in their home, which is quite a natural thing that happens in a lot of families. So life looks very positive for people. One of the things that people talk about is that they would not go back. So given the opportunity or asked that question, nobody has ever said that they want to go back to life, and they describe life in the institution as being quite lonely. Yes, of course. Once the change happens and people move into their own home, it doesn't all stop there, and in actual fact the real work begins with individuals. So what we know is that people talked about being lonely in the group home, and we also know that that's a reality for some people who have also moved. So helping people to connect to their community and establish friendships and relationships with people when you've only perhaps ever been around other people with disabilities or paid staff is an area that we're looking at. It is difficult, and the role of staff in supporting people to make those connections is crucial. So doing regular things every day in your community, like going to the same shop, is really important because people get to know you and you build up relationships with people. Tapping into people's gifts and talents and their interests is another area where we find we can help people make those connections in a very natural way in the community, and that's really worked very well for people. It is work that we will need to continue, I suppose, as long as we're supporting people with disabilities, because when you've been marginalised and excluded from society, and when you're viewed in a negative way by society, the only way or the best way to counter that is by supporting people to be in valued roles. And the roles that people are tending to find themselves in or working towards is really their role as a sister or brother or son or daughter, and really as a neighbour and a homeowner, and doing all of the things that you need to do to make your own home. And the friendships, we believe, will come in time for people that are really looking for that in their life. And of course the other big area is looking at companions and partners for individuals.
What has stood out for me this morning has been how important it is for individuals to be able to have a say in what direction their life takes, and how we should listen to them and their relatives and assist them on that journey.
The message for me today is to continue to believe differently and to think differently, and to really continue to believe in the vision that I have for the people I'm working with, and also my own sister who has a disability, and to be really bold about what I'm doing and being prepared to speak and say what needs to be said.